Well. Demarcus Lawrence is no longer a Dallas Cowboy. And just when I thought Demarcus Lawrence was going to leave quietly and everybody was going to say, congratulations, D-Law. D-Law takes a parting shot at the Dallas Cowboys. But I think there's something deeper here. Let's talk, Cowboys. We're about to talk facts. Welcome, Cowboy fans and Cowboy haters alike. I'm the G. I'm the host of Let's Talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. And if you like this video, please don't forget at the end to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know the next time we post another video or go live. You can continue to push us out into that YouTube algorithm, help us grow. And if you haven't already, please become a channel member. Now let's talk facts. This thing with Demarcus Lawrence, I can't even call it strange. I knew after Demarcus Lawrence got injured, I had a feeling he was never going to play another down for the Dallas Cowboys. Demarcus Lawrence had made it clear he wanted to play football the next year. It seemed like Zach Martin, it was already starting to be some grumbles that he might retire. But Demarcus Lawrence purposely made sure he got his body totally healthy so that he could get this moment that he got right now. Demarcus Lawrence, congratulations, you got your money. Anybody who know me will tell you, I do not believe in players not getting their money. I'm not listening to anybody talking about players should be taking discounts. No, this is your ability. God gave it to you. You get what you deserve. And if you want to give a discount, that's fine. But don't encourage other people to do that stuff. You made that decision for your personal life. Other people, they don't have that same type of life. People, you get what you deserve. But again, I don't think this thing with Demarcus Lawrence is all about money. Because when I start thinking about the money, I got to add some things in. I got to start thinking about the cost of living. I got to think about, do I want to be living in Seattle half of the time during the year, or living in Seattle, being away from my family? I mean, there's so many things I have to figure in. Cost of living, state taxes if they have them. There are so many things I have to figure in that if you're going to move from Dallas to Seattle, how much more is it for a few more million, if it actually is a few more million to live there? For me to uproot my entire way of living and being, the money would have to be astronomical. And I'm not necessarily sure the money was going to be astronomical per se. I mean, one, I don't think the Cowboys were ever going to pay him what he got in Seattle. What is it? $18 million guaranteed. But number two, did he still want to play for Dallas? And number three, did Dallas still really want Demarcus Lawrence to play for them? I mean, I know sometimes people say certain things like Steven was saying, we got to see what Demarcus Lawrence or D-Law wants. But you know what? If the Cowboys wanted to sign Demarcus Lawrence, they could have. But they didn't. Now, the reason why I'm saying this, there are a chain of events that I want to bring back to all of our recollection. And why I was not surprised when he didn't play again, was not surprised when he signed with the Seattle Seahawks. I was surprised by the amount of money, but everything with Demarcus Lawrence and even what he said, and yes, it is a shot. I'm not surprised by any of it. Let me remind you of this. That is one Demarcus Lawrence telling Micah Parsons to shut the F up. That's Demarcus Lawrence. And it seemed to me, just based on things that I'm about to let you hear, that there was a rift. And I talked about this during the season, and I think there were some others who talked about it, that it seemed like that Micah Parsons was trying to seize leadership on this team. I had to do some digging. I remember when I used this, but I couldn't remember the video I used it in. I think it was a live stream. But does anybody remember when Micah Parsons said this?
And actually get guys better. We need to develop these young guys, and that comes in on the players. Us players have to do better developing young guys, creating a winning culture. And honestly, I think it's good that we're kind of resetting.
Did you notice what he said? Resetting.
We're resetting when it comes to certain players and things, so we could just focus on building the culture. I just think there was kind of a imbalance of players between the old school way and the youth way, and I think it gives leeway for guys like me to step in and kind of take charge in the league.
So, what do you mean? An imbalance between the old way and the new way, or the old and the new, or the old and the young? Who could he be talking about? Let's see, Zach Martin, he's on offense. Dak Prescott, he's on offense. He's still coming back. Or could it be Demarcus Lawrence, who's on defense? If I'm not mistaken, Demarcus Lawrence, oldest person on the defense. And some of the old way of doing things was still in the locker room. And Micah Parsons is almost in essence saying that those injuries, the reset that he foresaw the Cowboys getting ready to make, it gave room for guys like him to be a leader. Now, again, I talked about this early in the season. Micah Parsons, he kind of put out there before it was out there that he kind of gave the indicator that Mike McCarthy might not be back. He said Mike McCarthy can get a job anywhere. Well, you were wrong about that, Micah Parsons. He also threw out there about Zach Martin, the guys that we feel sorry for. Zach Martin, well, why would you feel sorry? It was never even revealed at that time. Zach Martin was going to retire, and what happens? Zach Martin retires. The reset. He also had an inclination, I believe, that Demarcus Lawrence was not going to play for the Cowboys again. And that brings us to this. This has to be one of the craziest parting shots that you could actually give the team that you left. Check this out.
Dallas is my home. I made my home there. My family lives there. I'm forever going to be there. But, I know for sure I'm not going to win a Super Bowl there.
What?
So, yeah. Yeah. We here.
We're here. Demarcus Lawrence, welcome to the Seahawks. Thanks for joining.
You don't think that was a shot? That is an absolute shot fired. Wait a minute. So you're not going to win a Super Bowl in Dallas, and you think you're winning a Super Bowl in Seattle? What kind of team does Seattle have that would make Demarcus Lawrence think that they're getting a Super Bowl in Seattle? Hold on a second. Let me give you the last shot. And really not the last shot. This shot came from Micah Parsons right after it was announced that D-Law was signed. Check this out. And this tweet, right after it was announced that D-Law had signed with the Seattle Seahawks, not the day before, if I'm not mistaken, not 2 weeks ago. No, it was almost right after. Micah Parsons says, "It's my time." Now, D-Law made the comment I just showed you after Micah Parsons said this thing about "it's my time." But just as I'm making this video, look what just got revealed. Micah Parsons and Demarcus Lawrence are now going at it on Twitter. Watch this. Cowboys brotherhood BS exposed by Micah Parsons versus Demarcus Lawrence feud. I'm telling you, you knew from the get-go there was a problem. It says, Dallas Cowboys pass rushing linebacker Micah Parsons has taken exception to Demarcus Lawrence's comments about the franchise. And who thought he wouldn't? Look at this. It says, having seen Lawrence's comments, Parsons took to X and made his feelings known about his now former teammate, said, that's what rejection and envy look like. This some clown expletive. Demarcus Lawrence comes back, and don't think that Lawrence wasn't going to go quietly into that good night after Micah's comment. And D-Law gave Micah both barrels as he responded. He said, calling me a clown won't change the fact that I told the truth. Maybe if you spent less time tweeting and more time winning, I wouldn't have left. I'm telling you, Demarcus Lawrence didn't want to be in Dallas. He didn't. Mic drop. Except for one gigantic Cowboys problem, and one that Mike Fisher has been reporting on for years. The Cowboys locker room thinks of itself as a brotherhood, but it's all BS, Fish writes, and then don't even know it. This has been brewing for quite some time. A wrestling match over leadership styles, young versus old, and it's all selfishness. These guys have no idea what brotherhood is. And this is exactly what I was reporting before I even read this report. This thing with Micah Parsons and Demarcus Lawrence has been brewing, and you could tell by all the things that happened during the season after D-Law went down. You could tell this could not be a shock to anybody. I'm not blaming Micah Parsons, but I just think there are sometimes you let your actions speak louder than your words. And this is the very thing that even today, Michael Irvin got at Micah Parsons about again. Saying things that, yes, they may be true, but maybe they don't need to be said. Again, nobody can be surprised by this thing with Micah Parsons and Demarcus Lawrence. It's been brewing, and I hope both of them be men, get this junk off Twitter. If y'all got stuff to say to each other, you probably know each other's phone numbers, or at the very least, you can get at each other at X inside of Messenger. And man, y'all work this out and squash this like men. But again, it blows the roof off of the very thing that I'm telling you I've been reporting on this whole season. This Cowboys team has a culture problem, or had a culture problem. And this stuff right here is the very stuff, man, I hope Matt Eberflus sees this and gets at Micah Parsons. Not in a bad way. Just tell him, man, this is the very stuff we don't want no more. All of our talking is going to be done on the field. And all this going back and forth on Twitter, X, any other social media platform, we're not doing no more of that. Because at the end of the day, what if Demarcus Lawrence is right? What if he is right? This is what people have said about Micah Parsons as it applies to his podcast. And now he's saying if you tweeted less, I wouldn't have left. I'm telling you, he's saying something. You're one of the reasons why I left. You're one of the reasons why I left. I'm telling you point blank, that's what he's saying. I said it today on the live stream, and I'm saying it again. I believe one of the reasons Demarcus Lawrence didn't want to be here is Micah Parsons. I laid out all the evidence. Y'all tell me what you think. Like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Until the next time, let's talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. Peace.